Hi everybody, this is SAAD. Some of you may know that yesterday was International Men's Day. How do you think the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, decided to uh, celebrate that day? Did they celebrate the fact that 99.99% of men are cisgendered men, meaning that the the biological reality that corresponds to their body is exactly the way that they self-identify, or did they choose that day to celebrate the 0.01% who are trans men and so on? Of course, it's the latter, because in today's world, nothing is more virtuous than engaging in empty platitudes of faux virtue signaling. Now, some of you may remember that in May 2017, I appeared in front of the Canadian Senate to weigh in on Bill C-16, which was a bill that was meant to incorporate gender expression and gender identity under the rubric of, hate speech, hate categories. And of course, as I explained then, and I've since explained a million times, of course I support transgender rights in the same way that I support the rights of any individual in a free society to live free of institutionalized bigotry. So that's a no-brainer. But in the pursuit of making sure that people live free of bigotry, we don't trample on the rights of, certainly in many of these cases, of a very, very large majority. So I'm going to read for you a very small excerpt from my Canadian Senate testimony, and I will link up to the actual testimony at the end of this clip. So let me just read for you this small part. Ongoing governmental efforts are pushing for a gender-neutral society to cater to an extraordinarily small number of non-binary or non-gendered people who feel marginalized at having to provide their biological sex as part of their profiles. This is the tyranny of the minority. 99% of the population should acquiesce to having a default feature of their personhood erased because a few individuals might be inconvenienced by it. The slippery slope of totalitarian lunacy awaits us. Now, that's the end of the excerpt that I was going to read. What I was doing there is simply projecting what happens when, in the pursuit, as I said, of some goal, some social justice goal, you trample on the rights of a great majority, and you also trample on truth, on common sense, on science. We should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We should be able to create societies that hopefully minimize, if not eliminate, bigotry, although I doubt that this will happen, without, in the pursuit of that laudable goal, rejecting truth and destroying the rights of countless people. For example, when you have trans women, meaning biological males who identify as women, participate in women's sports and then winning, the right of that one trans woman doesn't supersede the right of all of the biological females who are then losing to this person. That doesn't make any sense. So yesterday, the ACLU, remember, it was International Men's Day, they put out the following tweet. There is no one way to be a man. Men who get their periods are men. Men who get pregnant and give birth are men. By the way, some of you may remember that I discussed in several forums, and I discuss it again in my forthcoming book, a story that happened to me in 2002 where a radical feminist, postmodernist / cultural anthropologist student with whom I was having dinner proclaimed that it was insane for me to think that only women could bear children. So, because of course in the spiritual realm, in some small Japanese tribe off some island in Japan, men are the ones who bear children in the spiritual realm, and therefore it was incorrect of me to say that women bear children. So I've been certainly documenting this lunacy as early as 2002. But in any case, to go on with the tweet, trans and non-binary men belong. Hashtag International Men's Day. So the ACLU took an opportunity where to celebrate International Men's Day by pointing to the very, 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 very minuscule number of cases of quote men who get their periods and men who have children and so on and so forth. So then I responded to the ACLU. I wrote, my husband, who is a biological female, is looking for a urologist to check his prostate. Any recommendations? And then my buddy Dave Rubin wrote, and the winner of Twitter for today, November 19th, 2019 is @GatSad with the 3 clap emojis, hand clap emojis, which by the way, that might be triggering because we know we shouldn't be doing any clapping. We should be using jazz hands. So again, what is the main point I'm trying to make here? Yes, let's protect the rights of all individuals, but let's certainly not trample at every opportunity on the rights of the majority, hence why I use the expression tyranny of the minority, right? If someone has a peanut allergy somewhere in the world, we don't eradicate peanuts from Earth because someone has peanut allergies, right? We don't kill all cats because I happen to be allergic to cats. So we can pursue assiduously the rights of all individuals to live free of bigotry, but we don't have to repeatedly squash the rights of a great majority of people in the pursuit of that goal. Have a good day, everybody.